Hello ladies, welcome back to my channel and to another Stacy Detox video. My name is Stacy Apodaca and this is a channel where we focus on becoming more adequate, confident, and self-loving women. As you guys can tell, I've been pouring a lot of my heart and a lot of my time and a lot of my effort and energy into this channel, probably more even than my vlogging channel recently, and I am so glad to see that it's helping so many of you guys and that so many of you are connecting to the message and that you're leaving your thoughts behind, whether you agree or disagree with me. I love the little community we're building where we get to hear each other's thoughts, and even if we don't agree with each other, we are learning from one another and we are seeing how we can become better women. Today we're going to be talking about if you should stay in your relationship after infidelity. I just want to remind you guys that this is all my humble opinion based on my personal experiences. I am not a therapist, and if you are wanting to decide what you should do in your marriage, please seek professional help because you will have the specific tools that you need for your relationship. But if you're in the beginning stages and you don't really know what to do, if you just clicked on YouTube and you just typed out, should I stay with my boyfriend after he cheated on me, and you stumbled upon this video, welcome. I pray that we can give you the clarity that you need. To put it on the simplest terms, when you get cheated on, people always want to say, just leave. What's the big deal? He cheated on you. Obviously, he doesn't care. Just leave. But when you're the person that went through the traumatic experience of getting cheated on, it's not as easy as just packing up and leaving everything behind. Some of you might live with the person that cheated on you. Some of you may be married to them, and some of you might be living with them and having multiple properties and having just so many things that entangle the both of you and your lives together. I do want to start off by saying that if there's any sort of abuse in the relationship, I do recommend 100% that you leave. And even further, if you're not married and if you're not living with this person and their boyfriend, even if you've been with him for 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years and they're cheating on you, my answer is to leave. If they did it once as boyfriend and girlfriend, when everything is supposed to be perfect and everything is supposed to be easy, there's little to no hope they're gonna stay faithful when the marriage gets tough, when you're living together, and when you're no longer in the honeymoon phase. Now, if you're in a relationship, you're living with your significant other, you're married to them, you have children together, and there's a lot of complicated things getting in the way of you being able to forgive this person, a really good point where you can start is asking yourself, is this man someone who is a serial cheater, or is he a good man that made a mistake? There's a big difference between a man who has shown his true colors since the very beginning of the relationship, where he would be messaging women, he would be liking other girls' pictures on Instagram, he would be being sneaky behind your back, checking out other women in front of you, just being a very sleazy and sneaky man, and a man who, I don't want to say it's an excuse, but made a mistake and is truly sorry about the mistake that he made. You have to be very honest with yourself, regardless of how much you love this man. If you have a man who is a cheater and for whatever reason you fell in love with him, but he is a cheater down to his core, and no matter how great you are, he will always cheat on you, or if you have a good man who made a mistake. If you're dating a serial cheater and you're hoping that he will change and that you will one day be good enough to make him change his mind about cheating and staying faithful to you, I don't see a point in staying in a long-term relationship with someone like that. Someone who's a serial cheater has deeply rooted trauma within themselves that causes them to be this way, and a lot of times they are seeking some sort of validation by sleeping with multiple women even though they made a commitment to one woman. And it's going to be very hard for you to change that person because you can't change anybody else but yourself. When you're dating someone that's a serial cheater and that you constantly catch them messaging other women, being sneaky, hiding their phone, etc., there's no point in making your life any harder. Accept them for the cheating ass men that they are and move on with your life. If you do decide to stay in the relationship, regardless if you have a serial cheater or a man who made a mistake, here are some things that you have to know about cheating that a lot of people may not often talk about because they're hard. So the number one thing that happens when you get cheated on is you not only get hit with a ton of bricks upside the face and your whole reality shifts, you also feel like alongside not being able to trust your partner, you can't even trust yourself. Because how were you able to miss all the signs, all the clues, all the red flags that were there all along? Now, here's where I want you to have a little bit of compassion for yourself. You only feel like all those red flags were there all along because now you know that he was cheating on you all along. When you were going through those moments where the red flags came up and maybe you thought to yourself, oh, like his phone's ringing at 2 a.m. Is he cheating on me? No, it's okay. He's not cheating on me. I'm gonna let it go. That red flag didn't seem like a big deal because you weren't sure that he was cheating on you at the time. Former you didn't have the information that present you does. So you have to be very kind to yourself, and you have to remember that if you would have known better in the past, you would have done better. And even if you decided to ignore the red flags and to pretend like nothing was happening and to turn a blind eye to the fact that you were getting cheated on, it's okay at the end of the day to protect your heart and to protect your soul. I'm not saying cheating is okay, and I'm not saying it's okay for your partner to live a double life, but be kind to yourself when these big events are happening and when your whole world is falling apart. There's no sense in adding shame to yourself and saying, I should have known better. I should have left him 6 months ago. I should have left him a year ago when I saw his phone ringing at 2 a.m. You didn't know better back then, and you know better now. So be kind to yourself and remember that you are only doing the best that you can, and that's the only thing you can do. When you feel like you can even trust yourself because how were you able to miss these red flags, you are only making your life harder, because now you don't only have to work on trusting the person who broke your heart, but you have to work on trusting yourself again. You have to think to yourself, oh my God, if I got cheated on and I thought everything was okay, how will I ever know in future relationships that I'm getting cheated on if I wasn't able to see it when it was so blatantly there? You shouldn't allow your trust to 100% break because somebody else was unfaithful to you. We live in a society that forces us women to be tough and to be hard and to always be one step ahead and to make sure that we don't allow people to get too close because then they might hurt us. A beautiful thing in life is that the more vulnerable you are, the more positive experiences you may feel. Yes, you're more susceptible to negative experience, but when you love with an open heart and when you do your best to trust every single person, you have a bigger opportunity of feeling a more intense love. Getting cheated on sucks. It breaks up families, it leaves people poor, it creates generational trauma, but there's nothing you can do if somebody wants to cheat on you. If your partner wants to cheat on you, they're gonna do it, and there's nothing you can do. You can't track their location, you can't follow them around, you can even put a chastity belt on them, and that won't even stop them from cheating. When you decide to enter a relationship between two people, you are deciding to fully trust the other person with your whole heart. That is the only way to love. If that person disrespects your trust and brings somebody else into the relationship, you then have a choice if you want to continue this relationship with him or if you want to move on and find somebody that is faithful to you. If you do decide to stay with the cheater, I do have to tell you, alongside with having to work on trusting yourself and trusting your partner again, you're gonna have to deal with the fact that not just because you forgive doesn't mean that you're gonna forget. Your brain's job is not to keep you happy. Your brain's job is to keep you alive. And so your brain will tell you, oh my God, Max already cheated on us. And remember how painful it was? Why are we giving him another opportunity? And why are we still keeping him in our lives? Right? So your brain will say, okay, my partner Max, quote unquote, my partner Max cheated on me. And so I want to make sure that I never feel this pain again. So I'm going to keep bringing up all the images and all the memories and all the negative things that you and Max have been through so that you don't want to stay with this man because it was so painful. And then we get into that battle between the heart and the brain. Your heart wants to stay with your partner Max, but your brain is telling you, no girl, he already cheated on us, he already messed up, we need to leave. Now, if you decide to forgive your partner, you have to be patient with yourself, and you have to know that those negative thoughts and those memories and those triggering images are going to continue to pop up in your head, especially if your boyfriend Max was shameless about the fact that he cheated. When you decide to forgive, you and your partner both need to be equally patient with yourself, because it's not going to be from one day to the other that you're going to be able to forgive and forget. It might take years, it might take decades, and if you decide to continue a relationship with someone after they cheated on you, you truly have to try your best to give them a clean slate, regardless of what your brain tells you. And I'm not saying this is easy, and I'm not saying this is the easiest way to do, and in reality, in my humble opinion, I think it's easier to leave a relationship than to stay with someone and forgive them for cheating. If you want to stay in a relationship with someone who cheated on you, you're going to have to be very patient, and you're going to have to do a lot of internal work and a lot of therapy to get to a point where you can trust and fully love that person again. You are only human, and that trauma that you went through when they cheated on you was astronomical, and it's something that you never thought that person would do. It's unfair that that person did that to you, and you don't deserve to be cheated on. You deserve somebody that would be faithful to you, because you are a wonderful person and you don't deserve bad things to happen to you. Unfortunately, if you're watching this video, chances are that you did get cheated on and that your trust was broken. If you want to leave the relationship after getting cheated on, I 100% support your decision. And I believe that you have to do what's best for you in order to heal yourself and in order to live a happy life after this. Whether that means staying in your relationship or that means leaving your relationship, no one can make that decision for you, and no one can judge you but yourself. The people around you want the best for you, and the people around you want you to be happy, and they want you to be with a partner who's loving, respectful, and faithful to you. When somebody cheats, the trust is deeply broken, and they take a piece of you that you may never be able to get back. But you deserve the vulnerability and happiness that comes with trusting someone with your whole heart. So, should you stay or should you leave your relationship after your partner cheated on you? It's important to know that leaving your partner after cheating is very painful, but deciding to stay and work on the forgiveness and do the tough work that it takes to forgive them and continue a relationship with them is also painful. And at the end of the day, nobody knows what's best for you. I don't know what's best for you. Your family doesn't know what's best for you. Your partner doesn't even know what's best for you. Only you can make a decision for yourself and for your relationship, and the people who love you and the people who want to see you happy will support that decision, because at the end of the day, only you know what's best for you. I truly pray that this video gave you some clarity and that you feel a lot better about whatever decision you decide to make. Please feel free to watch this video as many times as you need to. Consider subscribing if you haven't yet, and let me know down below what your situation is, if you got cheated on and stayed, or if you got cheated on and decided to leave. This is a not judgment zone, so if I see anybody being negative to people being vulnerable in the comments, I'm sorry, but I will block you and erase you off of this channel, because this is a safe space for everybody to share their experiences and to look for a little bit of healing. Las quiero mucho, que Dios me las bendiga. Quiérete mucho y respétate más. And I'll see you guys at the next video. Bye.